What's going on, YouTube? This is your man Tech Savvy. Hey, today's video is the second video for my Summer Survivor series for driving a slingshot during the summer for me. This is the second video where I'll be going through showing you how I will be installing products that will hopefully help me out for driving a slingshot during the summer. So y'all stay tuned. GoPro, stop recording. GoPro, stop recording. What's going on, YouTube? Hey, this is your man Tech Savvy. This is my second video dealing with my Summer Survival series for the slingshot. What I'm actually trying to do is make the slingshot where I can be able to drive comfortably during the summer without sweating so bad. I know right now everybody's out trying to figure out a way to stay cool. I'm just simply just trying to stay comfortable so I can drive back and forth to work. I'm not trying to create an air conditioned environment because that's just impossible for the slingshot, but I am trying to make it coolable, enjoyable, where I can still maintain a comfort level while I'm driving back and forth to work. In my Summer Survivor series, there's supposed to have been five videos, but it's now going to be 4. First series I brought to you was the chrome side view wings for the underside of the mirror. My second video is the UAS air blaster system. As you can see, it's already installed. For the simple fact, this is my second time trying to create this video because during the installation the recording had messed up and I didn't realize until after I had installed the product. So I'm gonna be trying to put this video along with the video I made yesterday, putting them together to basically show you some installation. During the video it might be some outages for its volume, but you can still see what I'm doing. My third video was supposed to be the Baker wings, clip wings that goes on the side of the Ripple windshield, but I just got confirmation that that product would not be here until the end of November. So that's why I'm dropping it from 5 series to 4, because the product that I'm waiting on is not coming until basically almost winter time. So the next 2 products I'll be going over are the next video after that would be the 4th and 5th product, which would be these 2 products here: the personal air cooler EV500 and the Ice Engine 055 core ice sissing fan. This is a neck fan. I know these are not slingshot products, but I'm actually just going to be testing them to see how they will withstand this Oklahoma heat. So hopefully I have a product that I can somewhat use that will help me out for its driving around in a slingshot. If they pass and I feel satisfied with them, I make a video with them, with me using those products. If they fail, I just say, hey, there will be no third video because the product just didn't work for me. Alright, now from this point on, I'm gonna be combining both videos, the one now and the one I made yesterday, so you can get a feel of how I installed the air blaster by UAS, the underground auto. Can't remember what the S is, but UAS. So y'all stay tuned. Get ready for me to put this video together and show you all how I installed it. GoPro, stop recording. YouTube, before I install this product, I failed to go over the product itself to let you know exactly what I'm dealing with here. The air blaster system has two pods, one for the driver's side, one for the passenger side. Okay, it comes with a wiring harness, and I'll be talking about the wiring harness and showing you how I will hook it up in a minute. It's got two portion wiring harness, one for the pods, and then you got another one over here that's for the air blaster system. Now, there's one thing I want to say about the wiring harness. It has a relay switch at the beginning. It is a 40 amp relay. Alright, it has two connections, one for each pod, which is a positive and a negative. Positive and negative. Okay, as you can see there. Okay, it has a ground wire for the battery and a positive wire for the battery, which is set on a inline fuse of a 20 amp. Now I'm gonna give them props for this wiring harness because they kept it simple and straight to the point, and I love that. So this product has its own on and off switch, so I have no problem connecting it with an inline fuse going directly to my battery because it has its own power cutoff. Normally, if it didn't have a power cutoff and you connect the electronic straight to your battery, that device will be on all the time. So I would end up putting a switch in between it. But this product is well designed on that area or aspect of the wiring. So I'm gonna give them props for that. On the pods itself, as you can see, the pods basically has an air blowing system on the inside of it. It looks like it's got another connection for the misting system that connects to it, and then at the end you have the positive and ground wire that connects to the positive ground wire on your wiring harness. Alright, on the inside of the pod, you have, once you line it up, and I'll be demonstrating all that going through in a minute, you have two-sided tape that's on the inside that'll help you align it up on the frame of the slingshot to get it going. And of course you have screws that will go into the hole once you line it up for the screws to help keep it stable. So it's a good design for as the way they got it connected, the way you're supposed to connect it. I like it. Well, I actually love it. So this electronic portion of the system, as far as wiring and the way it's supposed to go, I have no issue with this at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and go through and start setting it up, and I'm gonna go step by step on how I actually do things when it comes to electronics on any vehicle that I'm working on, no matter if it's my motorcycle or my slingshot. So stay tuned, and y'all hold on, and I'll be right back. Hi YouTube. Hey, first thing I do when I get ready to install an electronic product, I always check my wiring. I lay out my wiring to make sure that when I lay it down, I'm making sure that it is long enough to go where it needs to go. So here's my relay here, and I can already tell that the positive and negative cable that's supposed to go to the driver's side pod right here is going to be just long enough to fit. Alright, my battery cable, which is here, I'm just, like I said, I'm just laying it down and showing you. When I go over to the other side right there, that's it right there, it is just long enough to fit to make it to the battery. So both of these connections are most likely going to be a tight fit, and I hate tight wiring. Looking at the wiring for the passenger side pod, if I got my relay switch here and I'm gonna run my power negative cable for my second pod over here, then that's automatically telling me, let me go on that side That's automatically showing me that it's definitely going to be too short to make it to the second part. I mean, yeah, to the second part. Especially if it has to go up under by the side mirror and then ran back up to the pod. It's going to be too short. Excuse me. Now, just by me laying out the wiring, that gives me a close idea of what I need to do, which is most likely I'm gonna have to cut my wiring. I usually cut it about from the end connection up to about a foot. I will cut off and then add my wiring. I want to keep this end where the connection has to go to the pod. Now, looking at my battery connection, it's the same thing. Once I get it all wrapped up and going to where it needs to go, the battery connection also is going to be a tight fit. But I think that's going to be sufficient enough where it'll be able to actually go to that side over there without being too tight on my battery. I won't know yet until I get ready to hook it up. Now, what I'm doing now is simply laying it out to get an idea, and what I'm most likely going to do is what I'm getting ready to do is I'm going to be adding some wires from this area going back up through here, so I'm going to have enough wiring so if this going to be short, I can go ahead and cut it and pull my end off of here to add it at the end down here for to connect to my pod. So that's why I always, the first thing I do when I get ready to do an electronic product when it comes to the wiring, the component itself does not determine for me how the wiring is going to be. The wiring itself determines how or where the product that you're trying to connect is going to be. So that's a big difference there. So let me get my wiring going, and once I get my wiring to the length that it needs to be, then I would dry hang my product, and I'll explain that in a minute. So let me get some wires added to this this wiring harness, and I'll be right back. YouTube, I had to, for the left side passenger pod, I went on and added about 2 feet worth of wire for the positive and negative. I know that's not, I know that's maybe too much, but I'd rather have more than enough than still be short when I start trying to wire it up. So I'm gonna go ahead and solder this together right quick, and then once I'm done, I'll continue on with that. Hi YouTube, after you successfully heat shrink your new wiring, I don't know if y'all can see this, I added additional 2 feet. Once you successfully heat shrink it, you got all your wiring in place. Now it's time to pull your wire and loom it. So let me go ahead and loom all this wiring, and then I'll be right back. GoPro, stop recording. Looming it simply means just covering up all the wiring, even though all the wiring is surrounded with heat shrink. To give it that more professional look, every guy that's actually into wiring or electronics or whatever it is that you want to call it that you do, it is like you're putting your signature on your work. You always want it to look professional. So, to be honest with you, if you ever take your vehicle to get it, whatever, you're getting some wiring done, and the wiring is going up under the vehicle, coming up to the hood. The wiring is going across the engine. If it's not professional looking, meaning that they didn't loom all the wiring, you're probably dealing with someone that you want to immediately stop working on your vehicle and take it somewhere else, because simply put, if it looks like crap when it comes to this wiring, most likely it's going to operate like crap. So every guy that's actually into wiring his vehicle correctly, no matter if it's a stereo system, lights, whatever the case may be, always loom your wiring. It gives it that professional look. Now I'm gonna go ahead and wrap all this up, loom it, and then I'll come back. GoPro, stop recording. Hi YouTube, now that I got my wiring harness all loomed up, I also got it taped in the direction that I want it to be set up. So what I got to do now is actually run my wiring harness the way I want it to be installed, so it can connect back to the pods. So it's all loomed up, it looks very professional, and it's good to go. Now it's just time for me to just lay it out. I'm gonna turn the camera down so you all can see me lay it out, but like I said, once I do all that, then I'll be able to continue on. So y'all hold on. Hi YouTube. Hey, this is the portion of the video I had failed to mention, and I'm going back over it. After you install your wiring harness and you got the connection going up to the passenger side AirPod and the driver side AirPod, you got your battery connection going over to your battery, but before you connect it to your battery, there's another connection you need to make, which is this last wire that's coming from the wiring harness here. That's the wire. This is the, of course, I showed you all before, this is the wiring harness. This is the relay switch on the wiring harness, and all the wiring is coming from it. I have already loomed some of my wiring, got it in place, but this last wire here is your vehicle ignition wire, and the last connection you need to make is that second harness that's in the package of the air blower system by UAS Underground Auto. There's a second harness that needs to connect, and that needs to connect to the left signal. Just simply unplug the plug from the back of the signal, plug in the wiring harness going to it, and then the original wiring harness wire you had going to your signal will go to the other side of the wiring harness. Now in that wiring harness, you'll have, once you connect it, there's a bunch of wires at the end. I just wrapped mine up, but there's a bunch of connections at the other end of that wiring harness. But the only one you need to be concerned about is the one that has the red connection cable coming from it. I got mine all wrapped up, but hopefully you can see it. Alright, that is where this wiring would go. And once you make this connection, hook up your battery connection, and then you should be good to go, because now your system is completely all together. Now what I'm trying to do right now is I'm gonna finish looming my wiring, because like I said earlier, looming makes it look professional, and that's what I'm all about. I want to put my name behind the work that I do. So I'm coming back up, going up all of these other cables, and then I'll be running back to the connection for this, to make this connection. And then I'm gonna zip it down, tie it down, and loom it up, make it look pretty. And then I'll be able to come back, start up the vehicle after I hook up my battery connection, and let y'all see the product being on and all that good stuff. So y'all hold on, let me finish this up, and I'll be right back. GoPro, stop recording. Hi YouTube, I just finished up my wiring for the air blaster. Got my wiring strap down, got it loomed, got it all in place. I got my harness wired down, loomed and tied down, zip tied down, so everything is connected. All thing left for me to do now is jump inside the vehicle and turn it on, and then test, turn on the power for each one of the pods to make sure it's working. So y'all hold on. I do have ventilation coming into the garage, so once I start, I should be okay. Alright, here's the power button for the passenger side pod, the driver side pod. Good to go. Passenger side, good to go. And wow, they do blow pretty hard. Just gotta adjust them to get the air to come directly in. Now I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I got my temperature gun here. As you can see, the temperature gun is basically telling me it is 82 degrees right now in this garage. To verify, I'm gonna point it up at the light and get that temperature off the light. Alright, that light is roughly 109, 116 degrees. So let me get another temperature over here on that sidewall over there, so I'm making sure that I get the temperature. Alright, 87 degrees roughly in this garage. Alright, now I'm gonna point the gun at the air pod. Now if I'm correct, it should not change the temperature from what it is outside versus what's blowing in on you. It might be a 1 to 2 degree difference, but this is not an air conditioner. I'm just trying to get air blowing inside of the cab. So let's see what we got. Alright, it is saying it's 86 degrees with the air blowing out of the passenger pod. Now to verify, it's 87 degrees in this garage. So it's just a 1 degree difference from the pod, right side pod versus the temperature in the garage. The left side pod is 86 degrees. Okay, now my point is, I was not trying to get air conditioning. I was just trying to get air blowing inside. Now that the air is blowing inside the cab, I'm gonna use other devices to try to keep it a little bit cooler, or to get it a little bit cooler. I give this installation overall, for its difficulties, 1 out of 5, 1 through 5. I would give this product maybe a 1.5. And the only reason I'm saying 1.5, because it was a very easy install. But the reason I didn't give it a 1 is because I had to go in on the passenger side and add wiring for the wiring to go from across the hood back to the passenger side pod. Now, if I'm correct, if the pods are on and you turn the vehicle off, because of the connection, the ignition connection up at the left signal light up there, those pods should turn off when I turn the vehicle off. Exactly. So there's no power running from those pods or going to those pods when you actually turn the vehicle off. Okay, this concludes my install number 2 for as my summer survival series. The only thing I want to do now is do video 3 and 4. I'll probably combine them to make it just a 3 series video, because my final order won't come in until November. So like I said, I just might as well just write that one off. So I hope you like my install. I'll continue to keep doing these installs. In fact, I'll probably be doing an install here on out for the next couple of days, because parts are coming in. But I do have one more series for my summer survival. The example I'm giving right now as far as the install, I try to show everybody my difficulties on installing stuff, because I don't want anyone to think, oh, it's so easy to do. These installs are not. If you're not a patient person, and if you're not willing to sit behind and take your time and do them right, you might as well go ahead and take it somewhere to get it done, because you have to have patience and you have to be knowledgeable of what you're doing. Even though you might not know how to do it, there are several videos, personnel, people that you can talk to, people you can ask questions, whole 9 yards. So don't be afraid to work on your slingshot, but at the same time, you know you can't do it, so don't even try, because you're going to end up messing up some, and these jokers are not cheap. Other than that, I hope you like my video. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, tell me what you think, and hopefully I put this video together enough for you to understand exactly what I did. Other than that, that's my spiel for tonight. My next install or my next video will be coming up in the next 24 hours. That's my spiel for today, YouTube. Y'all have a good one. GoPro, stop recording.